One of the things I've been trying to figure out is how in the hell black people got pushed to the front of this whole Charlie Kirk thing in the aftermath of that. Like, how is it that we somehow became the fault, the problem, or anything else? Right? That's still, it just makes me think like there's something behind it, man. In this video, we're going to be reacting to a video by O'Shea Du Jackson entitled What Anton Daniels is doing to Black America is plain evil. And I will say Anton is somebody I used to listen to mostly for his business content. I thought it was good. And then eventually it just got to the point where I felt more like he was talking at and down, especially toward black people than he was talking to, for the most part, if that makes sense. I don't know. I just got kind of turned off by it. So haven't really listened to him in a while, but this video is a pretty good video, man. Let's get right into it.
I just can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it because I'm watching it and I know what the culture is like because I was raised in it, but it doesn't mean that it makes it right.
Recently, I've been covering the decline of many black conservative commentators, people such as the Hodge twins and even Officer Brandon Tatum. And of course, what I'm saying about them is true. At least I feel so. While they are right on many issues and aspects of their commentary, they tell half-truths, meaning that they don't explain the entire situation as to why something is going on. They're pretty much just cut and paste. This is happening and blacks are to blame. But when you look at the whole situation,
that's lying. And that's dangerous, man, because a lot of those half-truths put a lot of black people's lives in danger. And you have to think that they know this. There's no way that these guys are that dumb, bro. If I'm telling half truths and the half of the truth that I'm telling is disparaging black folks, is putting us in a bad light, is propagating stereotypes, if that's what I'm doing, then you have to know that the other half that gives balance to the perspective, that leaving that out is critical, right? Why am I only going to tell you the part that can endanger you? There's a reason for it, man. Now, look, I'm not going to act like I know that reason, but all I'm saying is you're not convincing me that they don't know that. And the fact that they do it, knowing what they're doing, lets you know just how dangerous they are.
It's more to be told there. And in the comment sections of the videos, one name keeps coming up. Anton Daniels. For example, look at this. You can add Anton Daniels to the list too. Keep calling him out. Anton Daniels is next. We lost him to the system. Anton Daniels, he's the same as the twins. I know you're cool with Anton, but that's what Anton Daniels do. Damn. So guys, I got to offer you an apology. I was being hypocritical. I mentioned a few days ago, Brandon Tatum calls out Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes for being anti-Semitic, but never mentions Candace Owens. And Candace Owens is his friend. And in fact, Candace Owens is probably more anti-Semitic, or at least the Israel may think so, than the other two. In the same way, Anton Daniels has been putting out some pretty interesting content that I disagree with. But I am friendly with Anton Daniels. It is because Anton Daniels, when I first met him, wasn't as big as he is now, and he's much bigger and a better YouTuber than me. But Anton Daniels is different than Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens, or the Hodge twins. Number one, Anton Daniels is married to a black woman.
He's right,
Now, his commentary might be different, but his actions still qualify as partially being pro-black. Anton Daniels may be harshly critical of black Americans and what we do. He has a lovely black wife. I've spoken to her before. A black daughter. He's taking care of a black family. Okay? Two, Anton Daniels largely has a black base. And at first, he was marketing his content towards the black community. All the black podcasts he has, the live events he's done, he monetizes a black audience, which I respect. He wasn't trying to just get to an all-white audience. Anton Daniels has definitely grown his offline presence. He's appeared on Fox News. He's appeared on Dr. Phil. And this is a part of...
I was going to say, I done seen him on a few different shows, man, seeming like he's trying to build that other persona where he's catering to that demographic of people. And so, like I said, when I first started listening to him, mostly business, most of his content seemed pretty innocuous for the most part, right? And then it just started kind of going left field with it. And I think you could see the transition from him doing mostly his bag chaser, getting money type of content, and they started to see what works. They started to see what works, man. And they think that their solution to everything is you're not doing enough to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, which I'm a do for self person, right? I'm a do for self person, make no excuses, but I know that a lot of things are a little more nuanced than that. And so they kind of push more toward the you ain't doing enough and neglecting to really and they'll put it on the black community instead of also talking about the many factors that go into a lot of that stuff. You know, they'll just disregard all the other things, any whether it be legislation, laws, whatever it might be, that's also playing a role in these things and playing a role in making it more difficult for us. It'll just be our fault because we ain't doing enough. That's like one of the main things that really fucking get under my skin.
His marketing strategy. He's not staying still. And that's why Anton Daniels is probably going to cross 1 million subscribers in the next 2 weeks or a few weeks, because number one, of his work ethic and exactly how he moves around. His strategy is really monetizing the black community while being harshly critical of it. And he's one of the few people that have shown that you can strongly do that. 3, Anton Daniels has a wider range of content. He can cover red pill things, he can cover geopolitical things, and he can then come back and criticize the black community, which is different than the Hodge twins.
But think about what he just said, though. None of that is offering real solutions to some of the issues that we facing, right?
Has a wider range of content. He can cover red pill things, he can cover geopolitical things, and he can then come back and criticize the black community.
But my other question, this goes back to what I was saying in my video yesterday when we was talking about Stevie Knight and the Hodge twins. All that is fine and dandy if you're doing things to help the people who's dealing with the issues you're criticizing them about, right? It ain't just you being around your other rich friends or your other people who, you know, kind of on your level far as status wise, right? Money wise, financially. But if you're going into the hoods, you're setting up programs, you're working hand in hand with people, and you still offer some criticisms, ain't nobody gonna say nothing because you're there on the ground, you know what's happening, and if your criticisms are legitimate, ain't nobody gonna argue with you about that. But when you in your ivory tower and you trying to tell motherfuckers what they need to be doing, but you ain't down there with them, helping them, who the fuck you think gonna listen to you?
Which is different than the Hodge twins, who all they talk about is black fatigue, or even Officer Tatum, or even Candace Owens. He covers more culturally than the other ones. So that's kind of why I didn't want to really bring him up a lot. You're right, I'm a hypocrite, and I gotta call it out. You guys got me.
Got him.
Anton Daniels is being a little disingenuous with his content. He does tell truths, but many of them are half-truths. And I have an example of what I'm talking about. Rewind. On September 23rd, 2025, a duo called Fearless Debates showed up unannounced at Tennessee State University and were escorted off campus. And of course, for me, this was a slam dunk case of what transpired. But this is where me and Anton Daniels differ. Anton Daniels saw it the same way that other black conservatives saw it, that the students were rowdy and the students were tripping. And of course, they were, right? I'm not going to say that they could have handled themselves better because, yes, they did stereotypically look bad at a certain point. I'm not going to argue that. But that's not all. Anton Daniels, after covering it, points something out that's pretty interesting.
I have no clue how many HBCUs exist. I have no clue how many HBCUs are actually on and up and up. But as you can see in the cover photo of this video, the young man has a screwdriver. He has a screwdriver now in this video. Because
now, before we get into that, can we talk about if out of nowhere, you know, whatever happened to Charlie Kirk out of nowhere, somehow black people get blamed, of course. Schools are being threatened. I'm not sure you can dictate how people should act when people come on campus who trying to propagate the same thing that led to the incident that they being blamed for, that we knew damn well they ain't had nothing to do with. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna control that? You literally have people's lives being threatened. But they the wrong ones for how they respond when someone comes with that same message. They the wrong ones, man. Look, you can give your point of view on, all right, man, maybe they shouldn't have did this, maybe they shouldn't have did that. But I understand and I see this, like, and that's where we go with he's saying half truths, or not even half truths. They just not telling the full story for a reason. Why would they be acting like that? Try to understand the mindset. At least try to understand the mindset and get our point of view. And then at the end of it, if you say, I get it, boom, you lay it out. But I don't necessarily agree with doing it this way, but I see why they did it. It's just straight criticism all the way down the line.
Because when I reviewed it, when I just played it really quickly yesterday, I didn't know that it was going to be a viral moment.
So Anton Daniels is talking about this student that's holding a screwdriver. All right. And it doesn't seem like the person who has the screwdriver is actually trying to fix something. It looks like the person has a screwdriver in case something pops off. But Anton Daniels is bringing this up to basically prove his point that you have students at HBCUs who don't want to engage in debate, and these black students are.
Maybe the nigga was trying to fix the door and he saw shit going on and he just didn't put the screwdriver down. I don't know. Like, how come we joke because it's the black man with the screwdriver? He just got it for some nefarious purpose. Like, look, I don't know why the man got the screwdriver, but why we got to jump to him having it is like a bad. Maybe the nigga was trying to put a screw in the door. I don't know, man. There could have been 100,000 reasons why he got a screwdriver, other than some bad and with some nefarious intent. It's crazy, yo. Oh,
violent.
man.
And this is a point that he typically would like to prove in this content. Till I wanted to find out, is it a crime to have a screwdriver?
No, it's not.
I even went to Google AI and it says no, it is not inherently illegal to possess a screwdriver, but carrying one with the intent to commit a crime, such as a burglary, can make it illegal. The legality depends on the intent behind possessing the tool rather than the tool itself. So a screwdriver can also be considered a burglary tool or even an offensive weapon if it is intended to cause harm or to facilitate a crime. All right. What Anton Daniels is trying to do is to present a situation that's not even there. The student never used a screwdriver. The student never attacked anybody with a screwdriver. But here's where the half-truths come in. Anton Daniels, could you tell me a reason why a student would have a screwdriver?
On alert and on pause, at least 6 historically black colleges have halted activities after receiving potential threats against their campuses. The lockdown measures come in the wake of yesterday's shooting of Charlie Kirk, though officials have not linked any of those threats to that shooting.
On September 11, 2025, Charlie Kirk officially died after being shot on September 10th. HBCUs went under lockdown, meaning that MAGA supporters or Charlie Kirk supporters were making death threats to HBCUs. And these HBCUs, nor the students or the staff, had anything to do with what happened in Utah. In fact, HBCU campuses are so far removed from Utah, it's ridiculous. It's literally on the other side of the country. So even though they were not at fault, these people, white people, I'm assuming, were calling and threatening these schools. And which schools went under lockdown? Well, we can see Alabama State University, Virginia State University, Hampton University, Southern University, Clark Atlanta University, Spelman College, Bethune-Cookman University. Well, the states that were affected are Alabama, Florida, Louisiana, Georgia, Virginia. Students are on lockdown. Some people are afraid to go to class, okay? This was just 12 days ago. In Tennessee State or Fisk University, none of these states were mentioned. But guess what? You see these MAGA students come onto the campus, and every HBCU had to be on high alert. There's no way that these schools could be under lockdown, and the other schools don't understand what's going on.
Hey, man, this is a really charged environment. So you got to ask, what's the intentions of somebody doing that in the first place? These two white guys, the MAGA guys, right? Why would they do that? You know, they're trying to incite something. Like there's when you really look at it, man, and you kind of just pull the layers back, why after an incident like this, and you got people calling these schools and making these threats, knowing damn well ain't none of them had nothing to do with nothing, not even, you're on the wrong race, my mans. What is your intent? You're trying to stoke the flames because you want to incite something. You want something to happen. And look, every man and woman is responsible for his own actions. But bro, you don't do that, man. You don't do that. You don't stir up the fucking hornet's nest and walk right into it and not expect to get stung. Like, that's not how it works. Then you blame the bees or the hornets for stinging you.
Every school is taking security precautions at this time. All right. However, Anton Daniels doesn't want to mention why the student may have had a screwdriver. And obviously, if I'm a student there, it would be from protection because these.
I'm convinced the nigga was trying to put up a door. That's what I'm sticking. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it. His door fell off. He was trying to fix the door. He wanted to go outside and see what all the noise was about, all the hoopla, and he just forgot he had the screwdriver in his hand. That's my theory.
Whites have been talking about threatening blacks. Then you have some whites who are emboldened enough to come onto your campus, and you didn't expect them to be there, which we'll get into a little bit later, but they came anyway. So would you go and get a screwdriver protection? Yeah, I probably wouldn't do it myself, but it's the point of why they're doing it. Why are these students acting hostile? Literally, MAGA threatened them. And this is what Anton Daniels leaves out. So many of these guys leaves out. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, black people do a lot of things that don't make sense. And of course, we got to call that out, but you don't want to call out the fact that MAGA was threatening black students. You want to leave that all the way out. And that's what is disingenuous, in my honest opinion. Let's go into more of his commentary.
This young white man was looking to have conversations and debate on the campus of Tennessee State University, which is an HBCU. And when he pulled up to Tennessee State University, I'm pretty sure that he anticipated some pushback but I'm not sure if he anticipated a practically a riot.
So he says here, he thought that these guys would try to start a riot. Okay, now if he believes that, if Anton Daniels believes that, he thought it would cause some confusion going into an HBCU, then let's look at why the person would come to an HBCU. If you thought that you were going to get there and something was going to happen, then why would you go in the way that you went? Why would you go without the protection that you could clearly help yourself or help the students if you felt that way? Anton Daniels is using his opinion to justify what the guy did. And he's saying, hey, he probably was expecting some pushback. Well, why was he expecting some pushback, Anton? Oh, because you know that most HBCUs lean toward the left. And also, you would have to know that HBCUs were threatened by MAGA supporters. Yes. So this was a whole troll idea. The guy was there to get a reaction. All right.
Exactly what I just said. They was there and they trying to stoke the flames, man. And I don't like that. I feel like this whole concept, this novel idea of sitting on any of these campuses with this debate stuff, I think this whole model has been proven to be just a really bad model. Really bad model. There's all types of other forums to discuss things, to debate things, but to go into an environment, any environment, and purposely provoke people, it's just a recipe for disaster. As we see now, we have a concept. It's been shown that if you do this probably long enough, it could end up bad, man. And so this whole idea that I'm just going to post up and come with things that I know are going to agitate people, that are going to offend people, that may even incite people to do violent things. That's not to justify any of the violent things, but still, you go in the hornet's nest and you start fucking around, and you shouldn't be surprised when your ass gets stung, man. But yeah, this whole format, I'm not good with it, man. I don't think you should be able to go on none of these campuses and just post up, or maybe you should have to get a license or something like that. But I don't know. I wonder, do they have to get licenses to post up on these campuses? Y'all let me know. I ain't sure.
But this is not necessarily so bad right now. But this is.
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the culture. I'm disappointed in the community. I'm disappointed in the amount of black wife beaters, wave caps, pajamas, sandals, white socks, and aggression that I see from these young people that are supposed to be the future of America and college students. I'm very disappointed. The amount of aggression that people want to get into a brawl is crazy. It's crazy. I just can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it because I'm watching it and I know what the culture is like because I was raised in it, but it doesn't mean that it makes it right.
Nah, man. What about the aggression of the more passive aggression that's being directed their way? See, here's the thing. Black people, and he should know this, we are more excitable. We are more emotional. We, in a sense, wear our emotions on our sleeves. That don't make it right, wrong, or indifference. That's just how most black people are for the most part. Sometimes it can be annoying. Cool. White folks, a little more passive aggressive at times until they explode, right? So they're actually using a form of passive aggression to get this type of reaction. So who you going to say is wrong? Look, whether you come, I don't care about them coming out in a wife beater or a wave cap, or like, come on, man, we really going to act like that's like what really matters here? Them coming out in wife beaters, wave caps, Crocs. I think I see the one guy in the blue shorts got on some slippers. Like, who cares? Like, we're making things matter that don't matter. Like, why we ain't talking about the intentions of the people that went there in the first place, and whether that was right or wrong. What was their intention behind doing this in the first place? So yeah, you got, if you're going to hold the one, this is where we just talking about one side. If you're going to hold the one side accountable, which that accountability I'm not in full agreement with in the first place, why you ain't holding the other side accountable? Why you ain't talking about what their intentions? Why you ain't talking about their passive aggression and why they doing this and sitting down and asking these specific types of questions and things like that? And whether or not this should even be happening, why they couldn't pick some fucking where else to go.
So now Anton Daniels is attacking how these students look. These guys have on sandals, pajamas, wave caps, and these are the kids of our future. Okay, these are valid points because I've went to HBCUs in predominantly white institutions. And yeah, these students do dress down. But here's what Anton Daniels isn't.
Nigga, they on campus. They ain't in a goddamn office. They on campus. Who cares? A lot of them probably stay on campus. Like, come on, man. Really? Probably stay on campus. Who cares how they look? These people are on campus, man. They ain't in the goddamn Rockefeller building. Like, come on, man.
Saying white students also dress down. They also wear sandals. I mean, if you want to talk about sandals, white people are the king of sandals.
Facts.
Wearing pajamas to class, doing whatever the hell they feel like doing.
Facts.
Like I went to school with white people. Like I understand, like all college students do this. Now, if you want to talk about bonnets and wave caps, that might be culturally, but white people do equally things, if not worse. So again, this is just to prove his point about how down bad the schools are. But here is what Anton Daniels is also not mentioning. Did the Fearless Debate guys have any permission from the school to be there?
I just said that.
And the answer is no. Fearless Debates did not have permission from Tennessee State University. They went there unannounced. They had
Okay, see, he answered the question. I didn't watch the whole thing, but that makes sense. So they didn't get permission. So again, they had some bad intentions with this. They had some bad intentions.
not secured prior permission to demonstrate or debate there, which means that this is all of their fault. Coming up there with mine saying DI should be illegal and deport all illegals now when you don't have permission to be there, which means that the ownership is not on Tennessee State University. The ownership is on these students. But Anton Daniels tells the half truth there. He goes around that. And if it was the other way around, he would say, if it was some black students going on to the white campuses, want to know what Anton would say? Why didn't they get permission?
Right. Right.
So this is the half truth. He wants to deal with that.
Hey, that's facts. You know, no, they should have went to the school. There's a process you got to go through. You just going on, you messing with them good white folks without getting permission. Don't nobody want to. Come on, man. Come on, man. So yeah, they definitely went here with. And why you couldn't ask these questions at a different? See, again, they picked the black campus on purpose. This is a form of aggression, man. This is a form of aggression. I don't care what nobody said.
Outcome of them showing up instead of dealing with the prevention mechanism of why they showed up. Fearless Debates not only put themselves in danger, but they put the students in danger. All right. Then he uses all of this to prove another point about HBCUs.
I looked at my daughter's college things, you know, like what she was applying to college. And I seen a couple of HBCUs on there. And she was just, I said, Leslie, what is this doing on here? She said, oh, no, it's just a bunch of lists. She was like, me and my friends put together a list. It's not necessarily what I'm going to apply to yet. And then the ones that she actually applied to, none of them was on there. And I'm very thankful for that because it's important for her to continue to be raised in the admonition of her father.
So Anton Daniels' daughter is applying to college according to him. And he did not want his daughter to go to an HBCU, which is, I mean, again, it's a fair choice. I can see HBCUs are, at least when I was going, disorganized, tend to have more problems than PWIs. I get it. But then he said something more interesting.
This is where they want us to send our children. This is what they keep trying to tell us that is waiting for us as far as great education, strong networks, the best of the best.
So he's then making fun of the fact that HBCUs are supposed to have this high education and all of these opportunities and connections. And in the prior clip, he mentions that his daughter should be more like her father, which is crazy because Anton Daniels is the epitome of working through a black community. He's been collaborating with people like Kevin Samuels, people like myself, Charleston White. That's how Anton Daniels got to where he is now. And he went the independent route. This is what HBCUs. Yeah,
I can't speak too much about HBCUs. I don't know enough, honestly, and I didn't go to one, so I don't know what the state of HBCUs is. So some of y'all can tell me, but it can't be that damn bad, man. There's a lot of black successful people that came from HBCUs. I think it's more about the person. I think there's probably colleges that are not HBCUs, your traditional institutions that have similar issues. I don't think it's so much. See, I don't know. I feel like you're painting this picture where it's like, okay, well, even when the blacks go to higher education, it's still subpar from the white institutions. So now you still look, it's like the accomplishment that they make, if they go, and they ain't going to do no worse than what students at colleges all across the country do when it comes to gambling and bullshit. And like, it's just young people. But now it's just like, oh, well, you went to HBCU. Well, your education isn't as important as someone who went there or someone. It's just like, come on, man. So now when people putting forth effort, that effort still get criticized.
HBCUs are supposed to do foster those networks. It's literally a white space opportunity. So if your daughter wanted to be more like you, your daughter would go to HBCU, right? Because she'd be making her own way with all of that opportunity to connect the dots in Black America or through Africa or through diaspora, which is also a white space opportunity. So again, this is what I feel with Anton Daniels. Number one, I respect the resilience. I respect his work ethic. He's a better YouTuber than me. I used to tease him about that and he passed me up. However, the half-truths, I think, are disingenuous. Not only do I think they're disingenuous, they are disingenuous. And I was wrong for calling out everybody else and clearly not seeing Anton Daniels for what he was doing and not saying much about it. So I just had to be honest about this. This is not to start a war with Anton. This is something that I'm seeing. And what I would hope is that in his commentary, to be more balanced, if he could be. And the reason why he could afford to be more balanced is because his audience is black. The Hot Twins can't be balanced. Tatum can't be balanced. Candace Owens can be balanced to a little bit, but it has to be towards Israel. But Anton Daniels could literally tell those guys tomorrow, listen, you guys getting the middle finger. I want to be honest towards the black community for once. And he would not lose anything, in my honest opinion.
Nah, I don't think Anton can be balanced either. I think he's at the point. I mean, I could be wrong. But I think he's probably on that ivory tower. And unless you're a black person who's done what he's done, like same thing we said with some of the people yesterday. Once you get so far removed and out of touch, that's your reality. And all your judgments about the people who still down here in the struggle come from your reality up here. And so you don't even take the time out to put yourself in a situation to see what's going on the ground so you can get a real perspective. You just critiquing from up here. And that's dangerous, man. You know what I mean? That's dangerous. That's arrogant. And that's when you start to lose people. So look, I don't know how far I'll end up going with this YouTube stuff. I got other things going on, but one thing for sure, two things for certain. Y'all ain't got to worry about me ever getting on here trying to like down my own people for views, even if I am critical of black people's actions sometimes or whatever, but that ain't gonna never happen. I can promise you that. But no, Anton know what he's doing. He know exactly what he's doing. And all these dudes know what they're doing. That's what makes it so dangerous. They know what they're doing, but they still do it anyway because it's what makes them successful. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below, man. If y'all want me to react to anybody else's content or anything else, I did start a community on the channel. YouTube got that community things. I didn't see some of y'all stuff, man. Look, I'll make the content. Y'all gotta watch it, support it. You know what I'm saying? There's all types of things I be wanting to talk about. But I don't want to talk about it and get like 10 views. What the fuck? But yeah, let me know what y'all want to see, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all in the next one.